Fantastic to be back in person where we left off. Yes, it does feel good. It does feel good. Now, I know you're eager to get to all the great content that we have planned for you over the next 3 days. So let's get started. Please welcome Senior Vice President of 3D Experience Works, Jean-Paul Basu.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good day, everyone connected. I know more than 10,000 out there. And welcome to 3D Experience World 2023. I promise this is going to be the best world ever because it feels so good to be back in person again, doesn't it?
Hello, Benders. We're here at 3D Experience World, and I have found the robot I was looking for. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
So is this your first 3D Experience World?
It is. This is my first time.
So what is your main function here today? Are you just greeting people?
Yep, we're greeting people, saying hello, telling jokes, and teaching about STEM.
So I think you are in the educational section of 3D Experience World. Just kind of tell me what are y'all doing over here?
So like I said, we're promoting STEM and all the additive manufacturing stuff. So I am built in SolidWorks. I'm 3D printed, either in FDM or resin or DMLS. There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, you are amazing. I just want to go on record and saying the 8-year-old in me had to stop by and talk to you. So you have made my whole trip worth coming.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. You come by anytime.
So if you're here at 3D Experience World and you want to come by and see us or the robot over here, now it's not a killer robot. See, Michael was looking for killer robots. I think that's a couple down, but this one seems to be very friendly.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any weapons. They didn't trust me.
I get it. We don't trust Michael with weapons either.
Oh, no.
All right. Hope to see you all here at 3D World. Hello, Benders. We are live in the Hive. I'm sitting here across from Bridgestone Arena in the Music City Center. We are in the heat of the action. This is like the championship game. Michael, we made it.
I know, we're here, Glenn. It's crazy.
I think general session's still going on. We had to sneak out so that we could be live in the Hive, but I mean, they were going strong when we left, wasn't they?
They absolutely were. I think we even missed the key speaker.
Well, you know what we do for our show. You know, we're there for you. We're bringing it to you live, like I said, in the Hive today. One thing when this first started talking out, I really was liking during the opening ceremonies or whatever, it was great to see a dear friend of the show, Tracy, who always is delivering and is a wonderful host for this event. And like she said, it was great for us to all be back again together. We worked as ambassadors yesterday in the Hive, Michael, and we got to meet all of the great user group leaders that come by. Got a nice red shirt. I mean, yesterday was just phenomenal, wasn't it?
It absolutely was. We even got a sneak peek into the showroom, didn't we?
Yeah, you can go out and see the pre-show where we put that up yesterday. We had a lot of interesting stuff, and we plan on seeing a lot more stuff today. Hello, Benders. We're here on the Digital Playground, and we stopped by one of our favorite booths, DriveWorks. Now, first thing I like to do is first, thank you for taking time to talk with us.
No worries at all. My pleasure.
Tell us your name and then kind of like something personal, and then you can get into your professional, like what do y'all do here?
Okay, nice. So my name's Tom. Thank you for having me. So I'm the CPQ product manager at DriveWorks. My biggest hobby, I really enjoy rock climbing. That's my biggest thing. Unfortunately, in the UK, we don't have that good weather, so I do a lot of indoor climbing. But yeah, so that's my my biggest hobby. As for what I do at work, as I said, I'm the product manager for our kind of CPQ solution. So CPQ stands for Configure Price Quote, and that's actually a really good summary of what DriveWorks does. On top of that, we do all the design automation for SolidWorks as well. So yeah, loads of cool stuff going on at the moment.
Now, I think when you get a license of SolidWorks, DriveWorks, I think like the basic package comes with that. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. So we actually have 3 levels of software, and DriveWorks Express, that is the tool that you said there, where that's included in every desktop version of SolidWorks. So yeah, you can have a go with it. You have to activate it, and then you can just go away and have a play. Yeah.
Well, and what we do is we deal with conveyors, but not like some of the stuff we were seeing that you do. We deal with conveyors to where it's like product moving. We work at Pan Austin with sheet metal, and we're making belted conveyors to where we're moving grocery products. But I had noticed like some of the conveyor belts and stuff you had look like when you're doing some of the, it's like a configuration of different things to where you're putting
Correct,
like this to this, and just kind of give me a kind of walkthrough about how that works.
Yeah, so everything in DriveWorks is based off what we call rules. So rules are just logical statements, if this, then that. So essentially you use these rules to build a configurator and to do your design automation. So, if someone inputs a value of 2,000 millimeters for the height of their conveyor, for instance, we can then drive the SolidWorks models and automate the SolidWorks models to represent a conveyor that is 2,000 millimeters high. So DriveWorks is a very generic product. You can kind of build whatever you need to build. So it can be used in many different industries. So things like conveyor lines are obviously a big industry here in the US and all over the world. So we have a lot of conveyor line companies and materials handling in general, but we also sell into transportation, medical, all kinds of other industries as well.
So does all that information, and like I said, we've seen it, but we don't use it on a daily basis. Does all that information, when you're putting it in, I'm assuming it's at like the assembly level?
Actually, no. So we do it. You can automate parts, assemblies, and drawings with DriveWorks. Yeah. So with parts, you're obviously driving dimensions and features and things like that. With assemblies, you might be controlling the mates, where things are actually in the assembly, what's attached to what. And then with drawings, you're driving things like sheet scale, view position, and them kind of things.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So one question that I had is when you're doing those type of things, does it set the configurations up in SolidWorks, or are you still setting them up and then it's just passing the variables to them?
So we actually produce brand new variations of the file. So you can drive the configuration of a part with or an assembly with DriveWorks, but ultimately we are generating new variations of them files. So if you're using something like PDM, we can create new revisions and things like that as well.
That's exactly where I was going, because we're in the PDM vault. So I was wondering, when we do that, is it saving it with that part file and it's saving it with that assembly file?
Yeah, so essentially we can create a new revision of that file or a brand new file if it is obviously a brand new one. The same with drawings as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus when you're dealing with revisions or whatever when you go in, because we've got like a sound clip on our board if we was in the studio to where we have like a revision alert.
Nice.
No matter what, I don't care how great you think the part is, that revision's always coming.
Yeah.
There's always going to want somebody that does something a little bit more. And in I was trying to think, do you have any new products coming out or anything you'd want to talk about?
So I think our development team are focused on a number of different areas at the minute, CPQ being one of them. We're also doing a lot with our web 3D technology. So DriveWorks, even though it can integrate with SolidWorks, you can take that to the web. So you can create an online configurator that then speaks to a kind of back-end automation system.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the kind of two of the areas we're working on. Obviously, we're looking at the 3DEXPERIENCE and things like that as well.
That brings up a question I was thinking about. So if you had like a web-based configurator saying that you had a product line that everything pretty much was the same, it's just like if it goes from 4 foot to 6 foot, then you add so many more links or whatever in.
Yep.
You're saying with the web-based, you can actually see that, like if you were doing like ordering or collaboration or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's
it might be a salesperson who's sat down next to a customer and they're showing them, the product they're configuring. It could be a customer themselves configuring something, or them kind of things. So yeah, we do the CAD data, but then you can also create what we call a 3D representation in the web as well of what you're configuring there.
Yeah, that's really great stuff. Thank you again for taking the time to
Yeah,
tell
no
us
worries.
about your product. I don't know about you, Michael, but I'm thinking as soon as I get back to my desk, I'm going to take a closer look at it. It's just one of those things, you get into a rhythm of where you're creating the same thing every day, and you don't necessarily look at all the tools that you've got. But
Yeah.
Thank you again for talking with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it, and
Thank
have
you.
a great world.
Yeah, you too.